All right, let's just jump right in. We are living through a massive, massive shift in how businesses grow. For decades, scaling meant one thing: hiring more people. You wanted more sales, you hired more salespeople. More support reps. But that whole playbook, it's becoming obsolete. What we're talking about today is a full-blown revolution, one that's powered by AI and is completely rewriting the rules of the game.
And this quote right here, it just nails it. It really gets to the heart of this entire shift. It's such a powerful idea, right? Instead of measuring how big your company is by your headcount, the new yardstick is the scale of your impact. This means we're focusing on the results, the revenue, the customer love, the market share, not just adding more names to the payroll. It's not about replacing people, it's about making them superhuman and changing the very math of what it takes to build a company.
So the big question is, why now? Why is this all happening at this exact moment? Well, the truth is, for a lot of companies, the old way of doing things has become what they call a burning platform. The ground is literally shifting beneath our feet, and just staying put isn't really an option anymore. To really get a sense of the scale of this change, just think back to Gutenberg's printing press. It didn't just make it a little easier to copy books, it completely democratized information for everybody. AI is doing the exact same thing for business growth. Just like the printing press put knowledge into the hands of the masses, AI is putting the power to scale into the hands of every single business, whether you're a huge enterprise or a tiny startup.
So what's fanning the flames here? Well, it's kind of this perfect storm. Competition is just getting fiercer every single day, which forces you to meet these crazy high buyer expectations for a super personalized, almost consumer-like experience. And trying to deliver that, it makes your sales cycles way longer and more complex. And all of this is happening at a time when economic uncertainty is putting a squeeze on every single budget. You can see how it's a vicious cycle that the old just throw more people at it approach can't solve.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem. Let's pivot to the solution and look at the actual measurable impact AI is having on go-to-market strategies. And this isn't a hype or some fluffy theory. This is a revolution being driven by hard data.
Let's start with a big one: 37%. Startups that are using AI are seeing a 37% reduction in how much it costs them to get a new customer. Now, to make that real, if your company is spending, say, $1 million a year on customer acquisition, that's $370,000 back in your pocket. That is not just a little efficiency gain. That is pure rocket fuel that you can pour back into your product, your people, or just hitting the gas on growth.
And it's not just about saving money on the front end. Get this: a massive 72% of startups say AI has made them better at upselling and cross-selling to the customers they already have. So AI helps you get customers for cheaper and squeeze more revenue out of them once you have them. That is a powerful 1-2 punch for any business out there.
Now, what I find really fascinating here is where companies are getting the biggest bang for their buck. It's not some super complex sci-fi application. The biggest drivers for ROI are using generative AI for creating content and, good old-fashioned workflow automation. And it makes perfect sense, right? Creating content and automating repetitive tasks are at the core of so many business processes. So by using AI to make those things better, companies are seeing these huge immediate benefits across the board. And this shows so clearly that AI's impact is being felt across the entire customer journey. For customer service, it means you're getting faster, more helpful answers to people. For sales, it's about finding the best leads and knowing the perfect time to reach out. And for marketing, it's about creating campaigns that feel like they were made just for you, but doing it at a massive scale. It's not some niche tool. It's a fundamental shift that lifts up every single team that talks to customers.
Okay, so we've established that AI works. But what separates the companies that are absolutely crushing it from the ones that are just, dipping their toes in the water? Well, it turns out there's this huge performance gap opening up, and it's about way more than just having the latest, coolest tech.
And here is the absolute key. It's about strategy, and it's about people. The companies that are leading the pack aren't just buying software. A whopping 69% of founders have actually invested in a dedicated AI specialist or even a whole AI team. This tells you that the real winners aren't just playing around with AI, they're weaving it into the very DNA of their organization. And the payoff for that kind of strategic commitment, it is absolutely staggering. Just look at this difference. Startups that invest in a dedicated AI team are 7 times more likely to hit that $20 to $50 million revenue range. Just let that sink in. For every one company without that dedicated AI focus that makes it, 7 companies with the team are getting there. This isn't a small gap, this is a chasm.
So, we've seen how the leaders are winning today. But the really smart ones, the ones thinking way ahead, are already looking at where this is all going. And that future is an evolution from AI being a simple helper to a world of real, true autonomy.
And the path forward is actually pretty clear. We started with old school, seller-driven sales. Then we moved to augmented selling, where AI gives us little hints and insights. A lot of us are right here now, in the assisted selling phase, where AI is giving us real-time help on calls. But the next frontier, where this is all headed, is autonomous selling, where AI agents can just handle entire tasks and workflows all by themselves.
So just imagine this for a second. You're a salesperson. In this new world, you have a virtual AI teammate that's basically sitting in on your calls with you. Every single thing you do is guided by analytics that are telling you the absolute best next move. You can create these deeply personal emails and proposals 10 times faster than you can today. And huge chunks of your job, like scheduling, following up, all that admin stuff, are just handled by autonomous agents. It frees you up to just focus on the human stuff, strategy, and building real relationships.
Now, I know that future might sound a little bit like science fiction, but I promise you it is way closer than you think. So let's bring that vision down to earth and see how this idea of an AI teammate is already making that future very, very real. Today, let's meet Seller Joe. Before AI, for every single dollar his company spent to get business, they made $1.50 in profit. Not bad, right? A decent return. But now you give Seller Joe an AI teammate, and that number jumps to $2.70. So how? Well, the AI is automating his busy work, it's giving him insights during his calls, and it's flagging the best upsell opportunities, which lets Joe just focus on what humans do best, building trust and closing deals. That's a 1.8x impact on the bottom line. It's huge! And these aren't just abstract concepts. It's time to meet your new AI coworkers. You've got the sales buddy, who's literally listening to your calls and whispering in your ear the perfect way to handle an objection. You've got the RFP responder that can draft an entire winning proposal on its own, the engineer co-pilot for those super technical sales, and the sales coach, which analyzes your actual conversations to give you personalized training. And hey, if you think this is all just talk, take a look at this. This is an actual user interface for one of these AI buddies. This is happening right now. Real sales reps are getting live coaching and product recommendations fed to them in the middle of a customer call. This stuff is not science fiction. It's already here, and it's already working.
So from the burning platform that's forcing change to this autonomous future that's just around the corner, one thing is crystal clear. The AI revolution isn't coming anymore, it's here. And that really leaves all of us with one simple but very important question to answer. Are you ready for it?